This is a video that's intended to educate the new shooter on the steps to properly load and unload their firearm. We'll initially begin with a lot of details of those 3 steps and then summarize again at the end just the 3 basic steps. To properly load your semi-automatic handgun, you will need to 1. Insert the cartridges into the magazine, 2. Insert that magazine into the firearm, and 3. Chamber a round. Step 1. Inserting the cartridges into the magazine. Take the magazine, place it into your left hand as a right-handed shooter so that it's low in the hand. The flat of the magazine is towards your palm area, and the round part of the magazine is to the front. You'll note that the top of the magazine has feed lips. Those feed lips are narrow towards the back and wide towards the front. Your cartridge will not insert straight down to the top of the magazine. It has to be placed towards the front, and the wide part of the feed lips press fully down and then slide fully back. You'll want to place your index finger onto the top of the magazine and then depress it so that it covers that narrow part of the feed lips. This will give you a guide through which you cannot place the cartridge too far back, thereby pressing against the narrow part of the feed lips. And also, you're not going to be so far forward that you're catching the case of the cartridge as you're trying to slide rearward. Press straight down again, slide back, repeat the process. Small press with the index finger, press straight down, slide back. Step 2 is insert the magazine into the firearm. I recommend keeping the firearm laying on its left-hand side, and for all purposes, when we discuss the firearm, as you're looking at it now, this is front of the firearm, rear of the firearm is towards me where the hammer is, and then in this position, to my left is the gun's left, to my right is the gun's right, up, down, and always in is from the outside towards the end of the firearm. It should be laying on its left-hand side. Grip 3 fingers around the grip of the firearm with your index finger placed along the slide pointing down the length of the gun. Place the magazine into the magazine well with the bullet part of the cartridge, the rounded part of the magazine to the front. Once that's got a centimeter or so into the magazine well, insert firmly. Step 3, cycle the slide. What you'll want to do is to grasp the firearm at the rear behind the ejection port above the rear sight, pull it fully back, and then fully let go so that the slide does all the mechanical work of bringing the slide forward and loading around into the chamber. Those are the 3 steps to loading your semi-automatic handgun. 1. Insert the cartridges into the magazine. 2. Insert the magazine into the firearm. And 3. Chamber around. To safely unload your semi-automatic handgun, the first thing you'll want to do is remove the magazine. Consider it the source of fuel for this mechanical device. Once we remove that source of fuel, we know that it can only be operated for a very short period of time, such as if there was a round into the chamber. To remove that round from the chamber, we're going to 2. Cycle the slide. Pull back firmly and directly with a certain amount of speed, ejecting any rounds, and let go. The round will either drop out of the bottom of the magazine well, or it will eject out the top of the ejection port. And then step 3 is to pull the slide back a certain distance so that you can verify that the chamber is empty. 3. Check for an empty chamber. Those were the 3 steps to safely unload your semi-automatic handgun. 1. Remove the magazine. 2. Cycle the slide, thereby extracting and ejecting any round that might be in the chamber. And then 3. Verify the chamber is empty. Once the magazine has been removed from the firearm and you have cycled the slide and verified an empty chamber, the gun simply cannot be loaded at that moment in time. Once again, those 3 steps in order. To load, insert the cartridges into the magazine. Insert the magazine into the firearm, and 3. Cycle the slide. To safely unload your semi-automatic handgun, 1. Remove the magazine. 2. Cycle the slide, and 3. Check for an empty chamber.